Jason Colina relished his first-time promotion to Socceroos captaincy. His task to lead a national squad predominantly made up of inexperienced A-League-based players. A moment's silence for the passing of former Socceroo midfielder Ian Gray as Pim Verbeek looked on for what could potentially have been his last in charge on Australian soil. As expected, the home team dominated from the opening whistle against an Indonesian side determined to break a 37-year goal-scoring drought in Australia. Home supporters were baying for goals. Josh Kennedy doing his best to pierce the visitors' last line of defence. Some had trouble against their more physical opponents. Teenage prodigy Tommy Orr was always in the mix in his international debut. Indonesia's goalkeeper was kept busy, while Luke Wilkshire did his best to provide some much-needed spark with a long-range bomb. The opening goal finally arrived, Mark Milligan finishing off for his maiden goal at international level.
Mark Milligan has his first international goal, and Australia just before half-time have the lead.
It's a very good finish in the end. In fact, it comes off his shoulder, then he'll hit the post, and then he swivels and somehow manages to squeeze this pass. In fact, it goes through the legs of Marcus.
Simon Colosimo very nearly doubled the score in quick time. Australia somewhat unconvincing after the first 45 minutes of play. It was a much improved Australian performance after the break. Kennedy forced to use his head in the role of lone striker. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in quick succession. Indonesia never looked like scoring as the Socceroos continued to bombard the goalmouth. While the combinations and sweeping moves were evident, goals weren't forthcoming.
This is good football by Australia.
Colina acted as a second striker, he too desperate to finish the night with a score to his name. But his path to glory stopped by Indonesia's shot stopper. As was Matt Mackay's effort. The homegrown Queenslander would have brought joy to those in the stands had he found the target. It was hard to believe Australia had only a 1-goal advantage. Kennedy couldn't convert, despite his aerial dominance.
Off goes Kennedy again. He beats
Australia never in danger of losing, despite settling for a narrow 1-0 victory. The result satisfying, but the overall performance not necessarily satisfactory.
Yeah, and we dominated from the get-go, and we played some really good football. It's a shame we didn't get the second goal, but well done to the boys.
Australia through to the Asian Cup to be held in Qatar in January next year.